I do feel like a circus freak. We shouldn't talk too much about it, but we've been doing quite bad. I experienced a lot of homophobia from my own country. I've been gooped and gagged every year when we haven't qualified. I've been like, what is going on?
Hello, I'm Jack. Welcome back to Flying the Flag, your favourite Eurovision interview series where we're talking to all the fabulous contestants from this year. And today, he is flying the flag for Denmark. Of course, is Søren Torpegaard Lund. How was that pronunciation?
It was actually quite good. Just the first name. You say after me.
Okay, go on.
Søren.
Søren?
It's without the R. It's just like Søren.
Søren.
Yes, that is
Søren.
so good. That is very good.
How are you doing? Because I'd love to know about your state of mind right now in this process that you're in.
My state of mind is like this.
Constantly.
It's just a whirlwind. Every day is something new, which is so amazing, but also very overstimulating. But I wouldn't have it any other way because, I'm getting to have so many dreams come true every day. Like I've said a lot of times, it's like joining a circus family, which is just amazing because I do feel like a circus freak. So I'm all in.
How was that experience for you at your national final when you realised that fans really, really loved you and your song this year?
I had not thought any longer than what was going to happen on the stage because I was working so hard to make sure that the staging was rehearsed and that I had rehearsed. I put a challenge up for myself with this one. The first time singing, I didn't even think that I would sing again or like what would happen. So when I won and then began seeing all the reactions and also knowing that my own country voted for me, not only the jury but also the televote, I was very surprised actually. It was so overwhelming to get that kind of love and also that Denmark is getting that kind of love in the lineup. Like, we shouldn't talk too much about it, but we've been doing quite bad. I feel like it's very nice and surprising for all of us that this is happening.
So many people have taken different interpretations and meanings of the song, but I'd love to know from you, the artist, what does this song mean to you personally?
There's two lanes with the song for me. One is like the obvious one, which is that it's a celebration of the nightlife. And it's a celebration of where a lot of us grow up, queer or straight or whatever, but we all find a community and a place to like go all out and be ourselves, make mistakes, let go, and kind of surrender to the sweet but sometimes very destructive route that it is growing up. On that route, we fall in love with the wrong people, and we keep seeing that same person again and again, even though we know that they hurt us again and again. I'm actually trying to say, keep on doing it, because we learn something from it, and we shouldn't restrain ourselves from the experience that makes us human just because it's gonna hurt us.
Of course, we're so excited to see you in Vienna and the performance you're gonna bring. It was so great already at the national final. Can we expect something similar in terms of the theatrics you gave, or are you going to change it up a little bit?
Me and my team and the broadcaster worked very hard to finally give like a great show and a great staging in a Danish Grand Prix. We're like, why fix it if it ain't broken, So
true.
We're going to keep the concept, but of course we are looking into every little detail and see, can we elevate that? Can we turn that down? So there's going to be surprises for the curious watcher.
You come from musical theatre. It's what you do. Do you feel like that kind of experience from theatre helps you in your performances as an artist now, especially going to Eurovision?
Yes. It is a very different stage. It's a whole nother scale. There's a lot more people watching.
Only 200 million. It's fine. You're used to it. It's fine.
Oh, it's nothing. Whatever. My experience from just being on stages and having people look at me while doing weird and hard and challenging stuff is definitely something I'm going to take with me. And I don't think the staging would look like this if I hadn't been a musical performer. So I told from the get-go, like, I want to use my strengths from being a theater kid and I want to represent for us. And I really want to go all out with choreo while singing, while telling a story.
It goes without saying, it's obvious, that the LGBTQ plus community is part of the Eurovision community. It's always gone hand in hand. There's that strong connection there that will never break. What does that relationship mean to you personally, especially when it comes to Eurovision now?
As a queer kid myself that kind of took my time to find that out, I was already part of the Eurovision community before knowing that I was part of the queer community because my mom presented it for me when I was very young. So I kind of felt at home with all the weird creatures that are on that stage. And now I'm one of those weird creatures myself. I feel like I love that there's a place where we can celebrate the campness, the queerness, the everything that the community is, and make it okay to put it up on a stage where so many people are looking. Of course, it's not a closed party, it's a party for everyone, but I do see that a lot of us in the queer community feel safe and seen in the Eurovision scene, and I love that, and it has to be a part of that, and it has to be like that. So it does walk hand in hand, and you know, I experienced a lot of homophobia from my own country when I won. People saying like, oh, that's just a gay in fishnet, and has this turned into a gay show? And I was like, don't you know what you're watching?
Yes, thank you.
It's Eurovision. Are you stupid? Like, are you actually stupid? And then I was also like, no, it's not a gay show, and we're actually outnumbered by straights on this stage right now. So no, it was very interesting to see like the rats crawling out of their cave, and I was proud to show that it's still happening even in a country as Denmark in 2026. But they couldn't take the love and the community and the support away from queer community, the Eurovision community, and also just the people who love Eurovision in general. So like the rats can crawl back. You know what? It's not an insult to say the facts that I am a gay in fishnet. So come at me. Thank you, actually.
I know the pre-party's already started, those relationships are being formed. How's that experience been for you connecting with the other artists? And do you have any standout friendships from this year?
This was what I was most excited about. I couldn't join the first pre-party in Oslo, and I saw everyone meeting, and I was like, I want to meet them too. And now finally meeting everyone, it was just so nice because everything is so crazy around us. To meet everyone and just feel that everyone is so sweet, so down to earth, that we all are going through the same thing and like we can have each other's backs in this was very nice. You know, the first person I ever wrote with was Eva from Luxembourg. And when we met, it was definitely like, oh, that's just a friend. You know, it's so funny. I met Jonas from Norway in the airport in Amsterdam in the bathroom. I was like washing my hands, talking to my manager, and then out came Jonas from the bathroom and was like, meeting here wasn't the plan, but hey. And he's also very, very nice. Also, Felicia is someone where we didn't even quite say hi or write that much beforehand, but like sometimes you meet a person and the synergy is just there, and like the lingo was just there from the get-go, and I felt very safe with her in like the whole circus that is happening. She's also one of my favorites.
Of course, it's been very difficult in the last few years for contestants with all the political tensions that are brought in around the world that come in through the contest. And you have spoken up and you said, you know, your focus is the music and the community that it brings when it comes to the contest. Why was that important for you to kind of share that? And how do you manage that going into this year as an artist?
We do live in a crazy world right now, and we shouldn't be blind about what is happening. But what I love about this competition is the community that it creates. And we as human beings have always gone to community and celebration in times where it's looking dark. So that is why it's important for me to be a part of that. And that's also what we're doing, the contestants among us. Love is the answer to everything.
Denmark had 3 wins. So have you had any advice from previous winners or contestants from previous years about going into Eurovision?
I have a direct hotline with Sissal. Yeah, and also when I say that we haven't been doing well, it has not been the contestants that I'm talking about. I've been gooped and gagged every year when we haven't qualified. I've been like, what is going on? Because we're such a great Eurovision nation, so I'm just so happy that we're back. And Sissal started that. The advice that she's giving is just, you have to know yourself. You're going to be thrown into a pool of opinions. That is something that I'm starting to like wire my brain to be in. When homophobia was thrown at me, I was like, whatever, like you can't touch me. I've worked with this for 27 years. I know who I am. But you know, having a lot of opinions about like how you sing or what clothes you're wearing or something like that, it's just very new that like every time you do something, it will be weighed or looked at. Like I have some conversations with her about that, and I say like, did you try that as well? Did people say that as well? And she's like, yes, girl, relax. Like, you know who you are. Try to just shut it out. I have a direct hotline when the kettle is boiling. feeling.
You faced scrutiny before. I know there was a whole issue with a social media post. You shared a statement, you told your story. How was that experience, not just that, but in general, when you're under such a scrutiny from the public eye and everything that you do is watched? How do you deal with that as an artist going into the Eurovision stage now?
For me, the biggest thing is authenticity, and I would never want to change or put up a facade or anything just because now people are looking at me. But I am starting to feel like I definitely have to take care of myself in a different way. I have to know what I give, and I have to own myself so other people don't own me. So that it's a transaction that you give me something, I give you something, but that we don't take something from each other that is not supposed to be taken, you know? But it is a weird concept because I've always fangirled about people and looked at people, and when I see a celebrity in the supermarket, I'm like, oh my god. But forgetting that they're also very whole human beings who are just tired or doesn't want to be looked at or whatever. And in the beginning, it was just all fun. Now I'm starting to also feel like, okay, now I just need to close my door and lay on the couch and not look at anything or have any opinion thrown at me. So I'm starting to find out how to navigate when to dive into it and when to just close the gates.
I have to ask you, how would it feel to bring that fourth win back to Denmark? What would that be like for you?
It would definitely be like the proudest moment ever, not just for me as an artist, but as a Eurovision nation and a fan. I can already see on like the broadcast people's faces, like the excitement that they would have. And of course, I'm gonna do everything it takes to try to do that. I see myself up there, but I also see other people up there, so it's gonna just be crazy to see what happens. But it would mean the world, and I would cry my eyes out and maybe take a huge shit on stage, and I wouldn't be able to control my body, I think. So it would be crazy.
Thank you so much for your time to talk to us today, and have the best time. I can't wait to see what you do in Vienna.